Hey everyone, welcome to a brand new video. It's been a minute since I posted. Thank you all so much for watching. Today we are working in my workspace, which is a multi-functional room in my house that serves as my home office, craft studio, and beauty room. And we are getting down to business with cleaning, organizing, and decorating for Christmas. We are getting it all done in this video. So here is a little before shot of my home office space. As you can see, it's pretty much a disaster. It looks like a tornado went through here, but I'm not even mad. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Sometimes being messy and disheveled like this is just part of the creative process, and I know a few of you guys feel the exact same way, so I am here for it. I am an advocate for it. Sometimes this is just part of the process, and that's totally okay. Typically when I start cleaning this room, I like to start by clearing off my desk because that space is what ends up getting super messy and cluttered. So I have been making some bracelets and jewelry, so I have beads all over my desk. I actually got some feedback in a past video that you guys really enjoyed seeing the bead organization, so here we go. Normally with my videos, I like to keep things short and sweet, to the point, usually around that 10 to 15 minute mark. I don't like to waste people's time, but I've had a few of you guys tell me you really enjoy the longer, more drawn out videos. So I decided I would give that a try with this video. But if you are sitting here watching me organize these beads right now and you're like, wow, Annie, this is dumb, I hate it. I'm going to try to add timestamps in this video. I feel like I tried to do this in a past video and I couldn't figure it out, but hopefully I can. So if you only want to see certain parts, like if you think this is boring, fast forward. There's a lot of content going on in this video. Otherwise, sit back, relax. Hopefully I can give you some cleaning motivation, some organization ideas. And there will also be lots of pink Christmas inspiration when I get to the decorating portion of this video. So if you are into the pink Christmas aesthetic, you will definitely enjoy this one. And if you have noticed my kind of gross, grown out nails, I do apologize. I need to go get those done. Alright, after I got the majority of my beads put away and organized, I am continuing the process of clearing off my desk. I got a whole bunch of glitters that need to be put away. I'm just grabbing things as I see them and putting them back where they go. And the way I like to tidy and pick up my space is by making piles. So I'll basically just make my way around my room, grouping things in different piles based on where they are stored or where they need to be put away. So that's a really good way to start, especially in a space where you feel completely overwhelmed with a mess. Just start making piles. So here is my glitter drawer. I had to give that a little bit of a vacuum. I had glitter everywhere, not only in this drawer, but on my desk, everywhere. Pretty much every surface I had craft glitter floating around. Most of these glitters you see here are from like a giant pack from Arteza. Every glitter color under the sun. I'm actually obsessed with all of them, and I'm surprised at how much I actually use all of these. And I like to organize them in rainbow order. So every time I open this drawer, it looks very pretty. Now that I have the majority of my desk cleaned off, we are going down to the floor mess. And I am starting with putting away all my sheets of vinyl. I just have like one of these scrapbook paper organizers and I keep all my vinyl sheets in there. I don't really have a rhyme or reason how I keep them in here, but I do try to put like the smaller scrap pieces on top, so I reach for those before cutting into a new sheet. Same goes for all my crafting paper, just putting everything back in the box, trying to put the smaller scraps on top. And then moving over to my ribbon box. I try so hard to keep these organized, but it really never happens. I always end up digging through here and throwing everything around. But I'm just wrapping all my spools back up, and what I like to do to keep them wrapped nicely is use a little sewing pin thing to keep them in place. And previously I had like all the thicker rolls of ribbon lined up with the smaller ones kind of floating on top, and I decided it would actually be smarter to line up all the smaller ribbon so there would be less spools floating around at the top, if that makes sense. So it would be just the fewer bigger ones, and I think that's going to work out well for me. As you can see, all the smaller ribbons lined up at the bottom of the box. And then I just keep a Ziploc bag of a bunch of different scrap ribbon. And now that I've made most of my piles, I can start putting everything away. It's funny because when I started this, like looking at my room, I was like, oh, this is gonna take me all day. I'm gonna be cleaning and organizing forever, but it actually went really, really fast. I think I was done with the bulk of cleaning within an hour because I have my system down so well. I know that everything has a specific place where it goes, so that just makes the tidying process go so fast. Like I said, I was shocked at how quickly I was actually done. So the storage spaces I have in my room, the white shelving system with the drawers is the PAX system from IKEA. And then I also have a closet with some built-in shelving. I made a point to create lots of storage space for myself in this room. And if you see the dry shampoo in my hair, just know I did not go out like that. I just spray it in and let it sit for a while before I brush it out. So that was the case here. I have this pink bench in here, and it basically just serves as a junk gathering spot. So I'm just working on cleaning that off, making piles once again, putting things together that need to go in a different room. I've wrapped up most of my gardening projects for the season, and I brought in all these like little plant tags for perennials that I have outside. I like to keep those just so I know exactly what I have out in my yard. My garbage was absolutely jam-packed full. It was a 2-bag job. I am really terrible at remembering to put a liner plastic bag in the bottom, so there's always a bunch of gross stuff in the bottom of the bin. Now that I am done with the bulk of cleaning and tidying, we are going to start decorating for Christmas. So what I like to do is kind of just refresh the shelves on my PAX system every season. I am starting by completely emptying off these shelves since I hadn't wiped them down or dusted them in quite some time. I'm just using a Swiffer dust cloth for the first pass, and then I go back in with my surface cleaner and a paper towel to really get any schmutz off of there. And basically my decorating process is just throwing things on the shelves and moving them around 1,000,001 different ways until I find something that feels right. Like I said, normally I really edit down my decorating videos to just kind of streamline things, but I did not for this one, so I am sharing the entire process here. This might feel ridiculous to some people, but It's just the way I operate, and I actually find it kind of therapeutic. I am a big fan of packaging design, and I have a collection of a bunch of different like pretty shopping bags. So I usually like to display some of those on the top shelf since I actually don't have very much stuff to put up there. So I'll kind of switch those out seasonally to match whatever aesthetic I'm going for. If you are a regular to my channel, you know I am a Halloweeny to the core. I'm all about Halloween. It's my favorite holiday. But I have come to realize I actually like to decorate for Christmas more than Halloween. And I found that I think that's just because the color palette is easier to work with. I think I just find it harder to work with the fall orange color palette, and I'm not really a fan of the pink Halloween look. I like my Halloween to look like Halloween. Pink is my favorite color, so I can go all in on that in my room. I do more of a traditional aesthetic throughout the rest of my house, so I really like to kind of zhuzh it up in my own little personal space here. If you don't like pink, you probably will think the end result is maybe even a little tacky, but that's okay, to each their own. By the time I am finished with all this, it will be a pink explosion on this shelf. But not only is it filled with pretty things, it does have utilitarian purposes too. I store my jewelry and a bunch of makeup and beauty products on these shelves too. I'm all about form and function. And then I usually switch over some of my lotion and fragrance scents for the season, so I'll put the more warm wintry ones towards the front. I also don't mind showing you guys this process because I think it exemplifies the fact that decorating is not something that is just quick and easy. Like, I can visualize a space, but I have to spend some time playing with the elements to really get the visuals just right. I don't think I've ever put together a shelf or a vignette where it was perfect on the first try. Not saying that all my decor is perfect, but I truly believe decorating and being good at decorating is something that takes practice, and you've got to be willing to put some time into it. If you are enjoying this video, watching me work and hang out in my home office craft studio space, and want to see more, pretty sure I have a playlist dedicated just to this room, so I will make sure I put that playlist and some other videos down in the description box if you want some more inspiration from this room. I've done quite a lot of work in here. And I'm gonna take just a minute here to interrupt this video with a little self-promo for my Etsy shop. These are all the things that I have been working on in this room and why it's such a mess. So I've got quite a few new Etsy listings up for Christmas, and I've been adding new things pretty much every day. I'm offering a selection of these beautiful hand glittered ornaments, customized any way you'd like. As you saw, I have every glitter color under the sun, so I can pretty much make any color, any design. And I also made these Louis Vuitton monogram ornaments, which actually already sold out, but check back in a day or two. I'm about to make another batch of them and restock them. I also have a selection of Christmas bag charms / keychains. These are all made with resin. So we've got some different little Christmas trees, and then my personal favorite, which is the gingerbread man. And then I also have this little set of Christmas bracelets, handmade with all the beads you saw on my desk. I actually put a lot of thought into the bracelets I've been making. They are waterproof. There are no metal materials on these bracelets, so they will not tarnish, and I use low profile, smaller beads to make sure they don't dig in your wrist while you're working on the computer or doing any other activities. So like I said, waterproof and comfortable. I will have my Etsy shop linked down below in the description box if you are interested in snatching up any of these goodies. I also like to switch some of my like little smaller organization containers over seasonally. A lot of you know I like to reuse my Bath & Body Works candle jars, so I grabbed this hot pink one from my stash. I also switch over all of my display candles in this clear drawer, so all the winter and Christmas ones are getting pulled to the front and a fall will be moved to the back. We're finally done with the pack shelves, so now I am moving over to this small little acrylic crescent moon. Again, I like to just switch out some of the knickknacks seasonally. On the other side of the room, I have this hot pink cube storage shelf, which is probably the one thing I get asked about the most, and unfortunately it is a discontinued color from IKEA, so I'm sorry, you cannot still buy this. This shelf for me is usually pretty utilitarian. I keep a lot of like office stationery supplies on there, and I just put together this little display of all my weeaboo action figures. In this little cube storage bin is where I store all of the pretty shopping bags that I like to keep. Two of the drawers I have on my pack shelves, I actually just store a bunch of my decor and knickknacks and junk in, and it's really not very organized, as you can see. So anything I use to decorate strictly in this room, I keep in this room. I keep it separated from the rest of my home decor just so it's easy to grab and on hand every time I want to redecorate these shelves. And now we are going to work on getting my Christmas tree up in here. So I'm moving the pink bench. That is where I put my tree, giving the spot a good vacuum before I set up. And I have this kind of gold elephant plant stand deal that I got from like Craigslist or something a really long time ago, but it works. And I have a skinny little gold pencil tree. Before I start decorating or anything, I am making sure all of my lights are in working condition. So unraveling those, putting in new batteries, testing them out before I spend the time to put them on my tree. I have done that before, put lights on a tree just to find out they didn't even work. So I like to avoid that. Now I am using 3 strands of battery operated gold wired fairy lights. I find that these work better on smaller petite trees than the traditional incandescent bulb lights. Now with these wire lights, you do have to have patience and wrap your tree with care, because if you get these tangled, things can go south real quick. So I try to move with precision around my tree and taking extra care not to get everything all tangled up. And these lights actually have a remote with different settings on them, so your tree can sparkle or do different little light shows for you. and it's just easy to be able to come in and out of my room and hit the on and off button. As you can see, I have all of the battery packs just laid on the base of the tree. And then I am putting on my little tree skirt. I think this is from Target from a few years ago. And then I decided to start my decorating process with some ribbon. So the past few years, I've been a big fan of incorporating some ribbon onto my main Christmas tree I do in my living room. But I have not done it on this tree at all yet. So this is the first year I've done that. Normally I just do a big bow ribbon topper situation. So we're doing this a little different this year. And of course the ribbon I am using is my signature deep pink color and white stripes. I'm pretty sure I got this from Amazon, so I will make sure I link that in the description box. And anything else you see in this video that I have a link for, check the description box. I'm gonna try to put as much as I can in there, otherwise drop me a comment. I definitely think the ribbon is a little tricky for Christmas trees. I think a lot of people are intimidated by it. When I first put it in, I think it always looks like crap. So you gotta just kind of keep playing with it as you fill in your tree. Basically, I just cut small strips and I find that curling the edges like so works nicely for tucking it into the tree. If you are doing this, you definitely need wired ribbons. So I went for kind of a spiral sort of pattern down the tree with the ribbon. And then with the bigger gaps, I try to put my larger ornaments in front of those. So it indicates kind of that seamless spiral of ribbon going down the tree. I have a mix of different ornaments I've collected over the years that I like to put on here. As you know, I go for pink and anything that's just kind of like whimsical. This is my whimsical tree. And then I also have just a big pack of some cheap pink and gold balls to fill in as well. Oh, and I do have some glittery snowflakes from the Dollar Tree that I've tucked in there. All right, and it is the next day now, and we are continuing the process of cleaning. So we got my desk picked up and cleared off for the most part yesterday, and now it is time to clean it. So I'm starting with my little handy vac, getting up more of that glitter and dust bunnies and whatnot, and then going back in with my Swiffer cloth, followed by the disinfecting surface spray and a paper towel. Apparently I didn't have the camera turned on, but I always wipe down my little keyboard really well, and my mouse, I feel like those definitely get sticky and gross. Then I am just putting my little desk accessories back up. In general, I do try to keep my desk pretty clear of clutter. I like to be able to have the open workspace ready for use. And I also like to change my desktop backgrounds seasonally as well. So I still had kind of the fall aesthetic going on, and I switched over to some beautiful winter imagery. I do usually like to incorporate something with a really dynamic, scenic location, and the picture I ended up choosing was this beautiful scene of Quebec City. I would love to go there someday. I've never been there, and Montreal. It looks gorgeous in the winter, although I'm sure it's freaking freezing. If you've been there, let me know. I want to hear about it. So I am wrapping up my cleaning with vacuuming. I always wait to do the vacuuming till the very last thing, so all the dust and particles and debris that are coming off of my surfaces get sucked up. There was a lot of crunching going on under my desk with a vacuum. And if you are a regular here, you know I like to close out my cleaning with a little candle lighting ceremony. It signifies the space is fresh and clean. So I've got a champagne toast candle here that I grabbed out of my stash. If you've not picked up this candle before, I can't recommend it enough. It smells amazing. And here is the final result of my cleaned and organized and decorated room. I would say I am very pleased with the results. I really like my decorated tree this year. I think it turned out really nice. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you give it a thumbs up. Also, let me know, do you enjoy the longer style videos like this, or do you prefer the condensed, to the point, short and sweet content? I would love to hear any feedback on that. And make sure you check that description box for any links and more videos featuring my little craft room, beauty room area. If you're not already subscribed, I would love to have you. I share a variety of lifestyle content like decorating, DIY projects, some gardening, as well as organization. And as usual, if you are still watching right now, just know that I truly, truly appreciate you. I hope you have a magical holiday season, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!